Married at First Sight's Madison Myers continues to be the bad guy by insisting that Michelle Tomblin apologize to David Trimble for her behavior. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. According to the Married at First Sight, where are they now? Special, Madison Myers hasn't done much growing up in the year since her season filmed. The Where Are They Now? Special picked up with the 5 couples the show followed on season 18 a year later to see what they've been up to since getting married to a stranger. Married at First Sight season 18 was unprecedented because of a notorious couple's swap that resulted from an affair between 2 participants. Madison Myers was originally partnered with Alan Slovic by the show's expert panel of Dr. Pepper Schwartz, Pastor Cal Robertson, and Dr. Pia Holek at the beginning of season 18. Alan was instantly smitten with the bubbly Madison, but Madison seemed to take a bit longer to warm up. Trouble started brewing on their honeymoon when Madison started working out at the hotel gym with David Trimble, another of the show's participants. David was partnered up with Michelle Trimble, but their marriage was already showing signs of strain. Madison wants Michelle to apologize. Michelle didn't love that David still lived with his parents, and her attitude towards him was dismissive and condescending. Michelle's attitude towards her spouse didn't improve when she began to suspect he was talking to other women. After she mistakenly received a text message from David that said, "You are so damn fine, I just want to eat you up," Michelle knew her instincts were spot on. When it was revealed that David intended the text for Madison, Michelle was understandably upset. On the Where Are They Now? Special, Madison and David were living together in domestic bliss. Madison rode hard for her man, saying, "This perception of you as this lazy mama's boy that lives in a basement is just the furthest thing from the truth." She's out to clear up his reputation, which is a big undertaking. As part of her cleanup, she wanted an apology from Michelle. It looks like Madison sees Michelle apologizing as a way to tie a bow on this situation. If Michelle would own up to some of her actions, it might help the perception of Madison and David as a couple and remove them from the affair label that's hanging over their heads. Still, Madison's insistence on Michelle apologizing comes across as self-righteous. Initially, David brushed off Madison's insistence on an apology, saying, "I'm not wasting my energy on that. I've done my apology. I know I've asterisked up. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I won, baby." David says he doesn't need an apology from Michelle, but Madison seems to feel like it's owed to him. It's murky whether David really understands the gravity of what happened. The deceit on Madison and David's part can be really damaging for Alan and Michelle, their original partners. It can impact them in ways that nobody can predict right now. When David said, "I won, baby," it demonstrates that he's still immature and lacking in emotional intelligence. It doesn't make what they did less wrong. Maybe Michelle does owe David an apology, but it wouldn't make David and Madison's affair disappear. Their love story started from a lie, and they just have to live with that. Madison keeps blaming Michelle. Madison and David continue to avoid accountability by indirectly blaming Michelle for David's affair. If Michelle had been a more loving and attentive wife to David, he never would have strayed, is the narrative. It's a convenient way for Madison and David to remove some of the guilt they're obviously feeling. There is a moment of empathy from Madison towards Michelle. As the women gather to catch each other up on their lives, Madison opened up about how she wanted to release the resentment she has and move forward with empathy. "I want to release any type of resentment I have in my life and in different parts of my life. Just letting things go and giving people grace and moving forward." Maybe there was some growth on Madison's part after all. She can now look back on her actions and realize she hurt another woman, and that wasn't right. Madison's happy with David, hopefully secure in their relationship, and they're planning their future together. In another scene, David and Madison gathered with their families, who all seemed to really get along. David pulled Madison's father aside and told him his intentions with his daughter, which are to get married. Her father told David he'd give them his answer when that time comes. Madison's dad seems to have a good head on his shoulders, saying that they're moving fast, but he's okay as long as Madison is happy. Michelle is a class act. Michelle acknowledges to Carla Juarez that she did some things wrong throughout the course of the show. She regrets her behavior in the beginning and says she was an absolute and watching it back is cringy. Rather than accept that her connection with David wasn't viable, she lashed out at him. In hindsight, Michelle can see the error of her ways. If she could go back and do it again, she would behave differently. The Where Are They Now? Special wrapped up with the cast gathering for Emem Obat and Brandon Williams' commitment ceremony. As they enjoyed drinks, Michelle approached David and asks if she can have a quick word with him. Madison looks stressed as this encounter takes place, awkwardly gawking at David and Michelle as they tried to find a quiet place to chat. Michelle owned up to her actions on the show. She said that watching it back, she could see how awful she was. She wasn't letting David off the hook for cheating, but she's owning up to her actions. David looked surprised, but he accepted her apology. They wished each other the best and shake hands, agreeing to let the past be in the past. Michelle apologizing to David shows a high amount of self-awareness on her part, and maybe part of Michelle's healing process is owning up to her actions and taking accountability for them. Hopefully, she and David go on to have a happy life together, and Madison can continue to mature and use everything she learned from appearing on Married at First Sight to become a better person. Madison said she could have empathy for Michelle and for what she put her through. Now, it's up to David and Madison to prove that their affair was worth it and move forward in life together.